Psychologists, coaches, holistic therapists, gurus, and spiritualists of all kinds are human beings like everybody else. They do right things and make mistakes too. Helping people to develop is at the same time a hard and honorable work because it requires that spiritualists develop themselves too. That's obvious. You can only teach what you already know. 3D, 4D, and 5D spiritualists have different levels of consciousness, goals, and advantages and disadvantages. What can each one of them do for you? Today is the 4D spiritualists' day. I'm Cavalher. 4D Spiritualists listen to you and your story like he knows you are unique, a treasure to be discovered, a whole universe. You will see that 4D Spiritualists are very human. They will show you how human you are. The fourth dimension is the dimension of humanity. It is unlikely that the 4D spiritualists will have prejudice towards you because they have already overcome morals. Prejudice is originated from morals prohibitions due to the denial of parts of reality and of yourself. But 4D spiritualists have already worked hard to accept reality as it is, regardless of what moral systems say. The key characteristic of 4D spiritualists is that they follow the soul. 4D spiritualists have egos like everyone else. However, their egos have surrendered to their souls, themselves. They will do the same for you. Although they will consider everything you are saying, they will follow the directions of your soul. That's why something really weird happens in your relationship with 4D spiritualists. Although they listen to you with love and consider your perspective, they will not prioritize your statements. They will show to you that the problems you bring to their attention hide much deeper problems, meaningful problems, the problems the soul brings about. 4D spiritualists solve problems that you don't know that you have, and you will love that they do. Another important characteristic of the 4D spiritualist is that they work with the unconscious mind. The fourth dimension is the unconscious. Should the spiritualist be a psychologist, a coach, a holistic therapist, or a guru, they are 4D only if they work with the unconscious mind and transcendental powers. They guide themselves through transcendental sources of information like dreams, astrology, kinesiology, and visionary experiences that happen in trances. You do not control this kind of information. Therefore, it is transcendental. That information is free from the partial and limited perspective of the ego, therefore precise. 4D spiritualists will show to you parts of the human reality that you never ever imagined. They will show to you parts of yourself that you did not know. You will be slightly shocked or truly shocked. You will see that things that you thought to be incompatible with you, morally inferior or even forbidden, exist within yourself. More than that, they have always existed. Repetitive and outdated situations will stop happening and new ones will come. People who don't want or are unable to grow with you will stay behind, and new relationships arise closer to your new reality. Working with your unconscious mind, 4D spiritualists will change your reality. However, disadvantages inherent to the fourth dimension can also be brought by 4D spiritualists. It is truly wonderful that the contact with your inner world and the unconscious mind grows, but it also brings about trouble. On the one hand, it's possible that you become much more interested in your inner world and begin to distance yourself from the outer world. If 4D spiritualists agree to that, they are misleading you. In my opinion, Carl Jung, the creator of Jungian psychology, is the biggest authority when it comes to the contact with the unconscious and the soul. He has never suggested that we leave behind the physical world or the ego. Much to the contrary, he has always stood for a psychological process that happens in the body, in the physical world. If not, the process is not real. We should not use the psychological development and the inner world to escape the material and outer world. On the other hand, 4D psychological process also causes pain. In the fourth dimension, we progressively approach who we really are, the true self. According to Carl Jung, that's the transcendental center of the human being. However, the world is currently and almost entirely 3D. In the third dimension, moral systems are the rule, and morals are all about not accepting and forbidding several parts of the human being and reality. These parts are precisely those that we learn in the fourth dimension. Therefore, 3D people are prone to not accepting your fourth dimensional development at all. If 4D spiritualists create in you the side effect of distancing yourself from this world and of having more and more trouble in your relationships, they are misleading you. An authentic 4D development must allow healthy relationships independently of other people's dimensions without any prejudice whatsoever. The best 4D spiritualists will demand that you keep developing your 3D ego in this world, whilst you develop your conscious contact with the soul, the self, in 4D. At last, 4D spiritualists will guide you to fully obeying the soul. They're right. Your progress throughout the fourth dimension takes you to consciously giving up your free will. That allows you to perfectly follow the soul. At the end of 4D, that obedience is thorough and your free will is zero. Precisely at that moment, you realize that there is a very dark part of the soul. It slaughters you by imposing a total self-sacrifice before the divine power of the soul. However, when you go through that and reach the other side, you realize that the soul has retreated and no longer directs you. The sensation of abandonment will be so high that you may feel desperate. When the soul retreats and the sensation of abandonment is unbearable, you will need a 5D spiritualist.